Hello everybody and welcome back to Pravus Gaming and more Plague Inc. Evolved custom scenarios. Alright, so got a unfortunate admission to make here. So I usually write down all of the scenarios that people have recommended to me, and I think I accidentally threw the list away. I think it got stuck in some other papers and I didn't even notice until just now. Which means I actually don't think I have a retained list of all the requests from people. So, I hate to ask it, but if you guys wouldn't mind, send me some Discord messages again so I can restart this list, a text version this time on my computer. That would be excellent. In the meantime, I have to find some other scenarios that we will play. The popular tab has changed a lot, and there's a lot of things on here that I have not played. So it would be good to go ahead and start revisiting the popular tab. For now, I think I'm going to pick up PAX-19 bacteria. The bacteria type just got a hell of a lot more complicated. Still in beta, so expect a few typos and errors here and there. So this kind of attracts me because it's like, hey, we're going to take the base game and then we're just going to make it more complex with different transmission types and so on. So for example, farm animals are now separated into meat produce and sheep. Blood and insects now form a tree together. Birds have an egg transmission, while beasts and pets can spread the pathogen. I kind of like this idea. It gives me more options. Symptoms would normally be on the far left and right have been removed. Total organ failure is more expensive and so on. There are 6 less lethal options. Yeah, I mean, yeah, there's just going to be a bunch of changes. It's complete rebalancing and reimagining of the bacteria type, which is really cool. So, let's give it a shot, shall we? Bacteria type, ATP boost, Darwinist, Aquatic Humophile, and Symptostasis are our standard setup, normal difficulty, and it is called PAX-19 instead of PAX-21. This will be like conventional bacteria playthrough, but transmissions, abilities, and symptoms have been heavily changed. You know the drill. Choose a starting country where a new type of plague will infect patient 0. Saudi Arabia seems perfectly fine. Okay. So for our transmissions, yes, we do still have water and air, but it looks like extreme bioaerosol might have been removed, or at least, I don't know, moved somewhere else. Blood exists, yes, but we don't have quite as many livestock and urban options as we did before. Activate vectors allow non-human organisms to be used. So you have to pick this up first to access birds and so on. We'll stick with our standard air opening, and maybe the extreme bioaerosol does still exist, but okay. Looking at our symptoms, we see nausea leads to a lot of different things. We have rash and coughing in a tree together. Anemia, cysts, and insomnia are fairly normal. This doesn't usually belong here. It usually belongs down here, so I'm curious what kind of tree balancing we've seen here. It looks like the same basic 6 options exist. I'm curious what's going to happen with things like dysentery, insanity, and so on. Maybe coma still exists? I don't know. There are less lethality options. Abilities, we have our standard cold, heat, and drug resistance, as well as help a brother out. Allows pathogen to spread its DNA through other disease types. So it looks like this is going to be another one of those scenarios where we can access some of the benefits of, say, the virus, or the fungus, or the prion, etc., which can be good. It certainly can give you some other options when you start running out of things to do. Or perhaps you find you really need the extra mutation chance from the virus. I don't know. But for now, we are going to stick with just going for some extra air transmission. I want to do a little bit better in Saudi Arabia, hit that critical mass as quickly as we can. No idea what to say now. This is just kind of a standard opening. Gotta waffle on somehow, though. Hey, have I mentioned the Plague Inc. board game? Because it's actually really fun. I think I may have mentioned this in a previous video, but not everyone catches on to this, and I still get questions about whether or not I've played it before. Yeah, the developers did contact me a while back, a few months back, after watching me play the official scenario about building a board game, which was really fun, and I highly recommend people check it out. And offered to send me a copy of the game. And I played it with my wife and a couple of friends, and it's really fun. I really liked it. If I had the proper camera setup, I would absolutely do a video on it. Maybe I can find a way to set that up on Tabletop Simulator or something. That would be pretty good. There's a way to do it. I don't know. Maybe we'll see that in the future. But it is really quite fun, and I highly recommend people check it out. If you like strategy games, it's a little bit different, but it's good. Water transmission, or do we go for the vectors? I'm going to go for vectors. Let's see what we've got. We have meat produce. Livestock uses meat production becomes susceptible. Frozen meat transported to rich and rural areas. Okay, that sounds pretty helpful. Rodent in the urban, sheep in the rural, and birds for land transmission. Yeah, rich and rural areas getting extra infectivity is very strong for me, especially since we already are in France, so I wouldn't mind getting a little bit of extra infectivity boost in Europe. We're actually spreading pretty well pretty early on. This is going well for me right now. Would love to go for water too. It's a lot of infectivity for only 1 more point than I currently have. There we go, problem solved. We are now at the stage where I do need some more severity though, so let's go for, let's say, nausea. We did get insomnia for free. I'm going to pick up cysts for the extra infectivity, probably work toward that hypersensitivity. Rash and skin lesions is my standard opening. We could start working toward that and sweating. The extra cold country transmission as well. I see no skin lesions, so that was a trap. I kind of suspected it might be. Let's go for coughing. That does lead to pneumonia and sneezing, both of which are usually pretty good. They have spotted me, but we have a very strong early spread before that happens, so I'm not too worried about it. Let's go for pneumonia and sneezing. A lot of extra infectivity. Also the abscesses. That's a good amount of severity to kind of get a good value of DNA from these red bubbles as we spread. I do need some drug resistance. Okay, and then we'll probably go for a little bit of cold resistance. And then we should probably go back to the... Well, I'm going to go for another level of that. Speed that up a little bit. What happened to the abilities? I saw something happen. Painkiller trickery. I like the word trickery, by the way. It's kind of fun. The effects of painkillers on infected are elonged, causing patient to assume they are healthy. Decreases severity. Don't want that. Bacterial drug resistance. Pathogen becomes resistant to... this is the same as drug resistance level 1. So I guess it's just effectively drug resistance level 2. There's genetic hardening. We could unlock this, but I don't think I need it at this time. Alveoli disfigurement. Pathogen attaches onto the alveoli, disfiguring them and allowing less oxygen to be taken in and more pathogen to be breathed out. I've never seen this before. Okay, sure, I'll pick it up. It's pretty good. That leads to complete alveoli destruction. I don't know how you say that. Alveoli? I'm trying to think it through in different pronunciations in my head to try and recognize it, but I don't. Destroys 90% out of the whatever it is in the lungs, causing near inability to breath, and certain death to people with asthma, which is apparently extremely lethal because apparently a third of the world has asthma or something. I don't know. We got into Greenland shockingly early. That was not expected. Okay. I don't need anemia. I could go for paranoia. That leads to inflammation and seizures. I do not have access to paralysis yet. Do I want to go for the extreme bioaerosol? The answer to that is always going to be yes. Okay. So far, we're playing this a lot like our standard bacteria with just some different symptoms. I guess if I picked up, let's say, sheep, does this lead to... How do you join these together? I'm trying to find new content. What if I go for rodent? That leads to rodent 2. I don't know what gets more meat produce, and I'm kind of wasting DNA trying to figure this out. I don't really need things like vomiting. We could actually start going for a little bit of extra lethality, but for now, let's just go for the bacterial drug resistance. Not that we need it too much. We've already spread pretty well. I'm going to go for the help a brother out, and that leads to mutation relation 1, thank you virus, or spore burst, thanks fungi. Well, that's pretty strong, but I probably don't need it unless the Philippines shut down their ports. For now, let's go for the extra mutation from the virus and see if that gets me anything really good. We got into the Philippines, so I do not need the assistance of the fungus. More mutation chance would not be the worst idea to see more content. I still want to find out what this does, but I just... alright. Maybe I'll come back and do a cheat mode and find out what other content we're missing. I don't know what the gating mechanism is, and I want to win more than I want to waste DNA and see new content. So let's go for the... let's see. Are we in every country? We're only missing Morocco. We should be fine. Let's go for the complete destruction and kill everyone with asthma because we're mean. Total organ failure. Okay. That's not usually the symbol for it. It is a lot more expensive, but certainly effective. We could probably get that for free if I get the extra virus mutation chance. So let's go pick up another level of that. That should help. I mean, we already have things like... what am I trying to say? Darwinist helping us out, so we should have pretty strong mutation chance at the moment. Let's see. Could be fatal, yes. Inflammation. I want to find, like, coma. There's paralysis. That slows down the cure a little bit. I mean, that's the primary concern right now, is just making sure we get rid of that cure. We can get digestive weakening. Pathogen toxins gain a low pH value so that they can increase acidity in areas causing stomach and kidney pains. Also allows pathogen to be passed through urine. Don't need that. Diarrhea. Okay. I mean, I could pick those up exclusively to make sure that the virus gets stuff that I really want. Like, if I get seizures, pick these up here. This leads to enzyme destruction 1. Enzymes are slightly damaged by pathogens. Toxins can be fatal. Pulmonary edema. This also leads to digestive system shutdown. Pathogen weakens the digestive system to the point where alcohol becomes deadly, and hydrochloric acid from the stomach escapes and damages intestines and kidneys. Very fatal. Yes, that would make sense. I'll pick up hemophilia. That leads to tumors, which I will also pick up. That leads to systemic infection. Let's also pick up the pulmonary edema. So this means that whatever I mutate is going to have a pretty hefty amount of lethality to back it up. So it's just kind of hedging my bet to try and control the mutation a little bit more so it's a little less random and ensures that we are going to win. I could go for things like the genetic reshuffle. Also, genetic hardening is an option. We're definitely not killing as quickly as I would like to, but we've infected most of the world. I'm going to go for... What am I going to go for exactly? I don't need more transmissions, so I guess I'll pick up the enzyme destruction that leads to level 2, which is very lethal as well. Just trying to kill people faster. No healthy people left in the world. There's the total organ failure. Ba-boom! Now we're going to get a lot of lethality. Let's pick up the systemic infection. That leads to coma, finally, which reduces the cure progress a lot. Would love to pick that up just to slow things down. Insanity is an option as well, which again reduces cure progress, so it's almost like picking up an extra level of the genetic reshuffle as well. And the definition of insanity. Infected start rioting and killing other people. Very, very lethal. All right, genetic shuffle it is. Let's just go ahead and get myself a little bit of extra score. We have plenty of lethality at this point. We will win. If I can get a little bit more DNA... There it is. Let's go ahead and buy myself just a tiny bit more score, and at this point, we have won the game. Well, that was kind of fun. I mean, we still played it a lot of the same way we would with the normal bacteria, just kind of navigating around mostly a different symptoms tree, but I would say that I liked this a lot. It's a pretty fun rebalancing and reimagining of a classic scenario. 334 days, 37% cure progress, 72,342 points, 3 stars as is only appropriate, because I am the master. I'm not, though. I'm not really. Yes, I definitely did like it. If we can find it again, I want to just see, can we activate the cheat modes? Or is it going to get slowed down? Let's see. Continue, cheats. Where's the unlimited strain? Let's see if I can figure out where those extra gating mechanisms came in. Okay, so we have 10,000 points. So we pick this up. Both of those, still nothing. Pick up these. Still nothing. Pick up these. That would have led to bloody Virulent. Pathogen able to survive outside organism for longer in blood. Yeah, so I have no idea what the gating mechanism is for these. This might be a bug. And that does happen on occasion. It's okay. Let's see. Oh, we do have vaccination, though. Pathogens, toxins damage white blood cells, antibodies. Making infected weak to previously vaccinated illnesses can inoccationally cause death. I'm trying to decide how vaccination makes things easier. What vaccination? Pathogen directly attacks and destroys pre-developed antibodies. Huh. Fascinating. Okay, well, I mean, I think I've seen pretty much everything. It looks like this just might be a slight error on the developer's part. Otherwise, I would definitely have taken more advantage of some of the new transmissions just to have a little bit of fun with that. But overall, yeah, I really liked the scenario, and I definitely give it a thumbs up. Thank you all very much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed, and if so, then I ask that you hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.